Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about Elliott wave analysis and how it works. Before starting, I should tell that this is a complex topic, and if you don't have basic understanding of chart, you should watch some other video to get the basic understanding of charts before watching this video. And it can take a very long time to become perfect in this. I myself will not consider myself as an expert and only a learner. So let's start. Now, what Elliott wave analysis tells us is that whenever the market goes up or down, it goes up in 5 waves. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It looks something like this. And whenever the market comes down, it comes down in 3 waves, that is A, B and a C, which looks something like this. This is the case of a bullish market, and same can happen in a bearish market where we have something like this. And A, B and a C. Now the bullish part or the bearish part, the 5 moves up or down, this is called the motive wave or an impulsive wave. We will use the word impulsive wave here. The 5 ways move up or down is called a motive wave or an impulsive wave. And the 3 part down or up is called a correction. In the bear market, the correction is to the downside. In the bull market, and in the bear market, the correction is towards the upside because the overall trend is the downside. Now this is the basic of Elliott wave, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and followed by a B, C correction. This is for the bullish market. This is for the bearish market. The 5-way move is called an impulsive move or a motive wave, and the ABC is called the correction. Now we will talk about the 3 basic rules of Elliott wave. And before going into that, now within this one, we can have further 5-way up, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And in wave, in this 5-way move up, the first wave, the third wave and the 5th wave are impulsive moves because they are moving in the direction of the trend, and wave 2 and wave 4 are called corrective waves. Now within wave 1 we can have further 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and from 1 to 2 we will have a B, C correction. Now from again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then an A, B and C correction, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we do a correction for this entire trend. Now this, in a bigger way of things, if we look at a very big picture, this entire move becomes 1 and then this correction becomes 2. So I think this is clear, and now we will talk about the basic rules of Elliott wave. Now the first rule is that wave 2 cannot go beyond wave 1. This is the first rule. It means that if there is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, wave 2 can never go below the beginning of wave 1, that is 0, the starting point of our counting. It can never go below the wave 1. So we have to keep this in mind. It can come back to even 99.9% of wave 1, but it should never cross the wave 1. This is the first rule. Now the second rule is that wave 3 is never the shortest. So this is the second rule, that in any case, wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave. Either wave 1 is the shortest or wave 5 is the shortest. If your counting is coming something like this, that means you have a wrong count, because in this case wave 3 is the shortest. So this is against the rule. So this is an invalid count. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest. And the third rule is that wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1. Now what this means is that if this is a Elliott wave count, then wave 4 cannot cross wave 1, the ending of wave 1. So if you draw a line here, then wave 4 cannot come in the area of wave 1. It has to end above the wave 4. Now this rule has an exception, and we will talk about that in a bit. Before moving ahead, I will talk about extensions as well. Extensions. Now generally, either of the first wave or the third wave or the fifth wave, which are our motive or impulsive waves, wave 3, wave 1 or wave 5, at least one of the wave is an extended wave. What that means is it is a very longer wave compared to the other two waves. And generally, I would say around 75% of the time, the extension occurs in wave 3. So this is 1, 2, and 3 is generally an extended wave, 4 and a 5. Now this is not a rule, and it is mostly seen that it occurs in wave 3, but this is not a rule. Extension can occur in wave 1 or wave 5 as well. But the second rule cannot be violated, that wave 3 can never be the shortest. So in a case, let's say we have an extended wave 1 and then we have a wave 3, then we know that wave 1 is extended. We know that wave 3 cannot be the shortest. So wave 5 has to be smaller than wave 3, because otherwise it will violate the rule. And if, for example, wave 1 and 3 are not extended, that means that we can expect wave 5 to be extended. And extensions can occur within the extensions. So let's say if this is a count, then we can have a extension, let's say a third wave extension within the extension of wave 5. So I hope this topic is clear. Now we will go into the types of motive waves. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, the impulsive wave. The normal count looks something like this: 3, 4 and a 5. This is our normal count. Wave 3 is not shorter than wave 5 and wave 1. Wave 4 is not crossing the starting of wave 1, and wave 2 is not going below starting of wave 1. Now what a leading diagonal is that in leading diagonal, the rule number 3, where have you written this rule 3? Sorry, the last rule, wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1, is violated, and this is an exception in case of a leading and an ending diagonal. Now leading diagonal, now what leading diagonal is that, let's say this is a entire cycle, an A, B and a C. Now the rules for an leading diagonal is that it occurs in either wave 1 or wave A. In the leading diagonal, what we have is that wave 4 overlaps wave 1. So this is an example of a leading diagonal. Same here. In a leading diagonal, wave 4 overlaps wave 1. And it can only occur in wave 1 or wave A. Now the rules are that wave 3 cannot be the shortest, wave 4 cannot go beyond wave 2, and wave 5 ends above wave phi, and the structure is this 1, 2, 3, 4 and a phi. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and phi. This is the structure. Wave 3 is not the shortest, wave 4 does not cross wave 2, and wave phi ends up above wave 3. Now in the case of this is a normal wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, and in the second type of motive wave we have the second case, which is a leading diagonal. Leading diagonal occurs in wave 1 or wave A. Now we will talk about the ending diagonal. Now ending diagonal occurs in wave phi, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and a phi. It usually looks something like this. You'll find it something like this. This is an example of a leading diagonal, and if we look at RSI or some other indicators, we usually find a divergence here as well. Now in leading and the ending diagonal can also occur in wave C, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. It only occurs, so leading diagonal occurs in wave 1 or wave A, and ending diagonal occurs only in wave phi or wave C. Diagonals do not occur in wave 3. That is a rule. I think we have cleared the motive waves. And one more thing, in ending diagonals, the structure is different. So for example, this is an leading diagonal, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. And let's say we have a ending diagonal here. Then the important point is that in the leading diagonal, it is made of a motive wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, an ABC correction 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, an ABC correction, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and an ABC bigger correction. But in ending diagonal, all the waves are corrective waves. So we have an ABC, 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 an ABC and an ABC. So all the waves are corrective waves in an ending diagonal. Now before moving on to corrections, I want to take on one more topic, that is truncation. In some very rare cases, wave phi can end below wave 3. Now this is a very rare case, and it very occasionally happens, but for the theory purposes I am letting you know. Now moving on to corrections, we have 3 types of corrections, which is a zigzag correction, a flat correction. A flat correction in itself has 3 corrections, and then we have a complex correction. Now let's talk about the corrections. We'll have a zigzag correction, a normal flat, an expanding flat, a running flat. Now, and then we have a complex correction. Now these are the types of corrections. Now a zigzag correction is an A, B and a C simple correction. An A, B and a C correction. Now in this, wave A and wave C are motive waves, and wave B is a corrective wave. So its internal structure will look something like this. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a A, B and a C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In wave A there can be a leading diagonal, and in wave C there can be a ending diagonal. So this is a typical zigzag correction. In a bearish market, it will look something like this. So it is very simple. It is considered of a motive wave. So each motive wave has 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by a B wave and a C wave. Now this is a typical simple A, B, and C correction. Now coming to a normal flat correction, it looks something like this. Wave B comes up to the level of the starting of the correction, and then wave C comes back to A or just crosses A by a small amount. In this structure, wave A is also a corrective wave B is also a corrective wave, and wave C is a motive wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So an a B, and a C. While A and B are corrective waves, and wave C is a motive wave or an impulsive wave. Now, in expanding flat correction, we have a wave A and wave B, which goes beyond the starting of wave A. The starting of wave A, and then it goes beyond the ending of wave C as well. So this is an expanding flat correction. The internal structure is an A, B, and a C, an A, B, and a C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So this is the structure for an expanding flat. Now a running flat, we have a we have a B which goes beyond the beginning of wave A, but in this case wave C ends above wave A, and the structure is similar: A, B, and a C, and A, B, and a C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So this is a running flat correction. I think all the flat corrections are clear. In wave A, in a normal flat, we have A, B, and a C. While B wave doesn't cross A wave A, and wave C ends near the wave A or just below the wave A. In an expanding flat, wave B goes beyond the wave A, and then wave C goes beyond the wave A as well. The end of wave A and the beginning of wave A. And in a running flat, we have wave B going beyond the starting of wave A, and then wave C ending above the wave A. Now the second last type of correction is a complex correction. And what complex correction is basically a combination of either of these corrections. In certain cases, we have a double zigzag correction and complex correction. They are joined by a link wave X. Now let me explain how it looks. What happens is that, let's say there is an A, B, and a C correction, but the market thinks that the desired correction is not over. So what happens is that we get a wave X. This is called a wave X. And then we have another A, B, and a C correction. This is called a complex correction. It is simply 2 or 3 corrections. It can be a triple zigzag correction as well. We have another wave which we call XX, and then there can be another A, B, and C correction. Or it can be a flat correction, it can be a running flat correction. So it is a complex correction, and hence the name complex correction. And it is joined by wave X. Now wave X can itself be a complex correction in itself. That is why the complex correction is very difficult to identify. The complex correction is labeled by a W, an X, and a Y. And if we have 2 complex corrections, then it is labeled by a W, X, Y, and a Z. This is a double complex correction, which includes 3 corrections. First correction here, second correction here, and third correction here, joined by 2 X waves, which are also called link waves. I hope this is clear. Complex correction are basically any of these corrections joined by wave X and then followed by another correction. Now the last type of correction is a triangle. It is made up of 5 waves, which are called A, B, C, D, and a E. So this is a typical triangle pattern. For example, there is a bullish trend, then we have a B, C, D, and a E. This is a triangle pattern. The interior waves of a triangle are always in a corrective waves. That is A, B, and a C. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, and A, B, and a C. So this is how a contracting triangle looks like. Then we can have a expanding triangle as well, which can be something like this. This is an example of an expanding triangle, and the first one is the example of a contracting triangle. So I hope everything is clear. We have completed, according to my knowledge, which is not so vast in related to Elliott waves, but I tried my best to complete all the topics. So I think everything is clear. Motive wave, normal votive waves, leading diagonals occurring in wave 1 or wave A of correction, ending diagonal occurring in wave 5 or wave C of correction. Then we have a zigzag correction, the 3 flat corrections which we talked about, the complex correction, and wave and the triangles. Now one last thing which we have to talk about is the Fibonacci levels and the typical Fibonacci levels of Elliott wave. So let's talk about wave 1 and a wave 2. Usually, if the prior correction was a very okay, so we are back. Now, for example, we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Usually, if wave the previous correction was a slanting or a very not so steep correction, then wave 1 is usually not so steep as well. And let's say that the prior correction was very sharp, it happened something like this, then we usually see that wave 1 is also very sharp. So we have to take care in that mind. So take care of that in our mind. And wave 1 is sometimes related to the prior correction, in which we have, if wave C in the previous correction looked something like this, for example like this, then we find that wave 1 is also not very sharp and it looks something like this. Now wave 2, let's talk about wave 2. Now we know that wave 2 cannot go beyond the starting of wave 1, and the Fibonacci levels, usually we find that wave 2 ends between the 50 level and the 61.8% retracement levels. This is not a rule. Wave 2 can come till these levels, but mostly we find that wave 2 ends here. Now talking about wave 3. Wave 3 is usually the sharpest move, the steepest move, and our main goal is to participate in this move. And usually it extends to 1.618 retrace extension. So if we do this, wave 3 usually goes to 1.618 extension. Now wave 4. Wave 4 has a correlation with wave 2. Now, what I mean by that is that, for example, if wave 1 corrected more than 50%, we find that wave 4 does not go beyond 38.2% correction. And for example, if wave 2 corrected only 38.2% level, then we find that wave 4 corrects up to 50% level. This is not a rule, but this is what is usually seen. And for example, if wave 1 was a simple correction, like let's say an A, B and a C simple correction, then it is fine that wave 4 will be a complex or a difficult correction. And wave 5 is usually, if wave 3 is extended, wave 5 is usually equal to the wave 1. This is the basic characteristics of a wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Now talking about corrections, in zigzag correction, wave B usually ends around between 38.2 to 0.618 levels, and wave C is equal to the extension of wave A, B and a C. If we extend it, it is usually around 1, or in some extended cases it can even go up to the 1.618 levels. For flat corrections, for the regular flat, there is no need to mark any levels because they reached to the beginning and the ending. In expanded flat, I think the levels are important. If we have an extended flat, we see that if we take retracement from A to B, from the starting of wave A to the end of wave A, we see that B comes around 1.272 level of retracement. And then wave C, the same thing, we take the retracement from A to B, and wave C ends near the 1.272 area. This is the typical levels of wave C. Now I think all that is clear. Now let's look at the chart which I have worked up right here. This is a Nifty chart. Let me get rid of all this. Now I have been trying to mark the current Elliott wave analysis for Nifty. My current analysis looks something like this. Now the very important point about Elliott wave is that if you look at 5 people's chart, everyone's counting will be different. So it is a subjective analysis and it is open to interpretations. Now my counting looks something like this. This is our main wave, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. If I show the wave, my current counting looks something like this. This is be a 1, a 2 ending here, a 3 which is probably going to end somewhere around here, a 4 and a 5. This is my counting for now. Now if we look at wave 1, then I have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 counting right here. Now if we look at wave 2, this is wave 2 right here. Now wave 2 is a complex correction which has a W, X and a Y. So this is a W, X and a Y. Now how do we come to this conclusion? Because if that this is a complex correction, because if we look at this wave, this does not look like wave 3. So we assume that this is a further complex correction. Now in W, X and Y, we have an A, B, C zigzag, then an A, B, C to the link wave X, then an A, B, C to complete the correction at point 2. Now we are traveling in wave 3, which according to Elliott wave is usually the largest and the longest. So now we see let me get rid of this. Now we see, now this counting is part of wave 3. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. This is the internal wave counting for wave 3. Now if we look in this, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Now 5 is in developing currently, and let's see if it is successful. Now if you see within this 3, now this is a 3 and this is a 3 of 3, and within the third wave of third we have further internal wave counting. This which goes something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. And then we have a A, B, C correction and then further counting. Now if we look at corrections, in this wave 3 correction, if we remove this, if we look at these two waves and this wave right here, then according to me, within this third wave we had a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. And in the 5 wave, I want to show you an example of, let's zoom in a bit. I want to show you an example of a ending diagonal, which is 1, 2, sorry, which is so which is an example of 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. So this is an example of a ending diagonal. And after that, this correction which we had recently, this according to me is a expanded flat correction, because that is why I have marked this as an A, B and a C correction. Because if we look at the Fibonacci levels, this exactly comes near the 1.272 levels. And if we take Fibonacci levels from wave A to wave B, then we end up exactly at 1.272 of the flat correction. And also, let me get rid of these lines. Now also, why I consider this as an expanded flat? Because of the internal wave counting. Now internal wave counting of an expanded flat is an ABC and a BC, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Now I think that this is a B, C, then an A, B and a C, then a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. So this is my current analysis. And after that we get a impulsive move. So I think that this counting is correct for now. But if there are any changes, we'll have to correct. And after that, I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 in developing. Now we have covered the basic 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 structure. We have covered ending diagonals. We have covered expanding flat. In here, we had a simple ABC correction, ABC, simple correction. And then I want to show you an example of a complex correction, which was going on in Nifty for the last 2 months. So this is an triple zigzag correction. Now this is a W, X, Y, X, Z. And within that we have an A, B, C, and A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, and A, B, C. So this is a complex correction. And after that, we have a bullish move upside. So this is my complete counting. You can see from the correction, and after that the motive wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And within the wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and within wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I want to show you a Titan chart, which is an example of a flat correction, a simple flat, in which we have A, B, C, A, B, C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is a flat correction in which wave B comes to the starting of wave A, and then wave C comes to the ending of wave A. And then in Bharti Airtel chart, there was an example of a triangle pattern here. So this is wave, this is an impulsive wave, and then in the triangle pattern we have an A, B, C, D and a E, and after that the trend continues. This is the original trend, followed by a triangle correction, and then after that we have another move to the downside. Now this A, B, C, D and E, this correction occurred in wave B. So I hope everything is clear and all the points of Elliott wave is clear. This video is going to be quite long. I think it requires this much time because Elliott wave analysis is a vast subject and it requires a lot of time. So I hope everything is clear, and there may be some mistakes in what I told you, but I think if you do some research, you can find more better analysis than me, because I do not consider myself as an Elliott wave expert, but I think I have covered the basics decently. So this is it for the video, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comments. Thank you.